So, a very pleasant welcome again. Good evening, wherever you are. This is Sports Talk on your favorite sporting television platform. My name is Ben Gagwa. I'm going to be here with you not least until 8:30. Trojan Kia Zulu will join in our conversation as well. But today, we put the spotlight on women football. Okay, we've decided to select this topic because women football or women in sport is fastly growing all over the world, and Liberia isn't an exception. So today we'll discuss basically women football, the highs, the lows, the prospects, where improvements can be made, what needs to be done, recommendation. We'll hear from the Liberia Football Association. What are the things that we put into perspectives over the past years or so to improve the sport? We'll also have, through the LFA, we'll have Alita Masakwe. She's been in women football, for a very long period of time. So she's currently serving as the female desk officer. So we'll relate to her in this presentation of Sports Talk. That's where we will also have the committee member of Liberian football, former owner of World Girls Football Club, Rochelle Woodson. She's going to come on as well, I think supposedly from the United States. We're going to have her. She will share her experience with us, and if recommendation needs to be made, she's going to make it, or she makes some of them. And we're also going to have Benetta Ure. Benetta Ure has just been in the football for a relatively short period of time, but she's president for one of the formidable teams in the league, in the upper league, I must mention. So she's president for Shakhtar Angels. They had a amazing run over the past 2 years, winning the lower women league, basically going undefeated. And then they are currently second in the top division. More so, they are in their consecutive final of the Orange Cup. And we'll talk about that game on yesterday because there was some sort of controversial moment. We're not ready to keep it on top of our discussion, but we'll talk about it in the trending issues. So Benetta Ure is going to come on. We're going to have LFA female desk officer Alita Masakwe. We're also going to have former executive committee member, former owner of World Girls FC, former president, that is, Rochelle Woodson. So it's a crack team of females who've selected some of the best in the country to explain their own experience of Liberian football, especially women football. My name is Ben. Trojan will be my teammate in this presentation on this Monday, first day of the month, let's say April, the month of April. So let me welcome you all. Today I was reading some things on Facebook. I saw Rufus Mulva from the technical arm of Intel Sports. He posted on Facebook. He said, "Congratulations to Teofila Jika on the occasion in which you have been appointed a manager of Intel Sports." I was like, wow. So I picked the phone and I called Tio. I said, "Oh, Tio, congrats." He said, "Don't mind Rufus, that's April Fool." But just for the fun, myself, I have forgotten. But today is not April Fool. For the sake of the conversation, we're going to have Rochelle, we're going to have Alita Masakwe, and we're also going to have Benetta Ure on the platform. We'll discuss trending issues as well. All that and more coming up right after this short break. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. So let's welcome you back. It's the first day of the month, first edition of the week. My name is Ben. My teammate Trojan is also in studio. So having set the pace, let me say Trojan, welcome.
Thanks a lot, Ben, and good evening to all of our audience. And of course, once again, it's a brand new month, a brand new week. We're ready to roll right here on this program.
So reminder to our listeners that we'll talk specifically women football. We've got three personalities that are going to come on. We'll hear directly from the Liberia Football Association through its female desk officer, Alita Masakwe. We also hear from the president of Shakhtar Angels Football Club, Beneta Ure. And we are going to bring on the platform former executive committee member and former president for a female club in Liberia, Rochelle Woodsey. Okay, so those are our three guests that will be on. But as always, we are going to kick the program off by discussing trending issues. We are aware CC United are relegated, but in the Orange Cup, the drama was at Global Farmer at the D12 Sports pitch where the home side won the game, but they will go on to go out on the away goal after they won by 3 goals to 2. And because they lost the first leg by 2 goals to 1, so they went out on the away goals route. But it was an incredible game because, for many reasons, because the two teams started with 10 players apiece, and it went like that for almost 44 minutes before 11 I introduced their 11th player, and then within a matter of 60 seconds, they will go on to take the lead by a goal to nil. They still went on to lose, but they qualified on the away goal. So it's going to be in face of 11, making their cup final debut for the first time in 13 years against Pinsville Football Club, who for the first time in the first tier of Liberian football are in the Orange Cup final. That follows after they dropped Jubilee by 4 goals to 0 on yesterday. Yan Dan, that's H. Dan Weir, was on the score sheet with a hat trick. So, Trojan, what do you make of the results and the final pairing, Pinsville, with all the bunch of stars they have? I mean, the MVP, Edward Leonard, Emmanuel Daniel in goal, and I can go on to name Marlon and Harrison. They're going to face in face of 11 IU, who are coached by Liberia Deputy Kevin Simley.
It's an interesting tie. Of course, IE against Pinsville, old versus new. I don't know whether we can say IE can count on experience in this match because when we are talking about better players right now who, like you named, Edward Letlam, the most valuable player in Liberia, plays for Pinsville. Pinsville is relatively a new team. This is their first time, like you stated, in the top tier, and they've gone on to qualify to the finals of the FA Cup, the Orange Cup. For Invincible 11, this is their first appearance in 13 years. That was ages ago. So a kid is 13 years old will for the first time see IE play in the final of the Orange Cup. And it's great. So the two teams now have the opportunity where IE now be going back to play continental football, or will we see Pinsville FC for the first time representing Liberia on the continent? So it's going to be an interesting tie. But as it stands, I think I'll give Pinsville FC
The edge.
the edge.
So you're not going for experience, instead you're going for...
No, the reason I'm not going for experience is simply because of the caliber of players.
So you're going for form.
Going for
Form over
over
experience.
experience
And my
in
man
this
Fezzer is
particular
small.
case.
The guy say you can never disrespect form.
No, you can't disrespect form. And Vesely is right. You can't disrespect form. All right? Form matters a whole lot. So let's take, for example, we all watched, you know, games where somebody have beaten this team over and over. Okay, let me take Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, for example. When was the last time Dortmund beat Bayern Munich?
It's been long.
It's been a very long time. So present form, at least Borussia Dortmund, because of the wobbling form of Bayern Munich,
yeah.
of course, beat them for the first time in the Classica. All right? So you can't overlook form. So for that particular game, I would take
Peaceville.
See Peaceville, how they did away with Liska.
Did away?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, they did away with Liska. They knocked out Liska.
Yeah, I know. I saw the game. That was almost
It was
lifeless Liska.
Yeah, it was a lifeless Liska. And of course, Peaceville did the job. But you expect Peaceville, and we're talking about experience and all of that, so you expected Peaceville to be a pre for Liska, if we're talking about experience alone. But you see what happened.
Well, you've heard from the expert. So a reminder of the scores again. It finished Jubilee 1, Pinsville 4, Jubilee progressing. That's Pinsville progressing 5-2 on aggregate. That's where Global Farmer 3, Invisible 11 2, 4-4 on aggregate, but Invisible 11 advancing through thanks to the away goal rule. But here is the one that have the controversy and the more discussion on this one in the female category. Shakhtar Angel, I think, will go down in history as a winner of the tie because they were a goal up against Ambassadors, Soccer Ambassadors, and then the game would not end after they converted the penalty. Ambassador refused to go back on the field. Referee Sylvanas Gardner kept the whistle for a couple of minutes, and after 5-6 minutes or so, she could not get the home team coming on the pitch. She had to abandon the game, and competition department has ruled in favor of Shakhtar. So it means that they've made a back-to-back final, I think for the first time in the club history, because in last year final, and again, they are in the final. In the other semi-final, World Girls easily rolled over Ravia by 6-0. Total aggregate of 10-0 in the semi-final. They're going to play Shakhtar. So our conversation will be with Shakhtar and Ambassadors. What do you think?
I think it was bad sportsmanship exhibited by the Ambassador. We are at a stage now where, of course, you have referee assessors. I mean, Liberia doesn't have the VAR and all those technology, but at least we have a referee assessor. Okay, and there are a lot of ways that a team can file complaint if they felt wrong. Okay, but there's nowhere, no part of this world where a team will refuse to play. Okay, it's like two wrongs. Somebody saying two wrongs can't make a right. So not because they insulted you and then you went and slapped him, and you think because he insulted you, you are right for slapping him. If you went to the law, you are wrong. He might have insulted you, which made him wrong, but because you slapped him, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So similar situation with Ambassador. If you felt offended, continue the game and play under protest and make sure you register what your grievances are.
But that is not going to change the result in any way.
That's not going to change the result. But what it does is that if it was a mistake by the referee gets punished. All right? The referee gets punished. We've seen situations where, of course, not just in Liberia, there was a period where Arsenal felt aggrieved by a decision and they were, I think, defeated. And the referee, at the end of the day, came out to, after they did all of the investigations, they knew the referee. Okay? But Arsenal did not walk off the field in the sense that, oh, what the referee did was wrong, so we got to walk off the field in protest, except the referee changes his decision. Or go, once it is scored, except the VAR calls and say, no, cancel. But once that's not the case, you can demand, say, cancel to the referee. So you needed to continue the game. So by walking out, of course, they brought this upon themselves, and I'm sure it also goes with fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think our mentality in Liberian football, though it is growing a bit relative to how we react when we feel cheated or when there are mistakes, because here in Liberia, even the referees make some mistake, we all know that cheating, all we can say it, right? Cheated. All right. So our mentality needs to grow along with the game. As the game grows, so our mentality must grow.
And this serious point that children has just raised, our mentality needs to grow with the game. The game has evolved. If the game has evolved, our mentality towards the game has to also evolve. I will say a few things here. You watch the game for any of the venues in our country, even when our national teams are in action, we sit in the stand as supporters and we scream onto our players when they are in possession, attacking the goal. And we say to them, kill him, kill him, kill him. What we do to the attacking players there is that we are asking them to dribble their opponent. And the players too, attacking player in possession, goes with the whim of the crowd and tends to dribble and just dance with the ball all around and don't play football. Because the essence of playing football is to use a technique, use tactics, and so forth. So when you can't use the tactics under the technique, you're not playing football. And all those have to change. Our supporters have to know what is football, what they want to see when they go and watch the game. You want to see goals. You want to win games. If you have one player dribbling one defender 3, 4, 5 times, what does that do for the game? Does that change the 0-0 score line to 2-0 or 3-0? No. Obviously, the player is doing insignificant dribbling of the ball. And you call that.
But then I think that's left with the manager. For example, I gave my player instruction. You are a coach, a licensed coach. You give the player an instruction, and the player wants to play to the whims of the crowd. You call him and warn him. All right? Say, no, that's not how I want you to play. You get the ball at that position. You first look. If you don't see anyone in front of the goal, you can keep it. But once you have someone who is giving you an option, play the ball and keep moving. All right? But if you don't tell the player and you, the coach, you sit there and the player dances with the ball and loses the ball, and then he takes it again, dances with the ball, loses the ball, and you're just there as a manager, you're not telling him, but the player is playing according to what the crowd is telling him. Well, it is up to the manager. Maybe he's enjoying it as well.
Very, very important issue. Like sometimes we go to press boxes to talk to the journalists or to talk to the coaches, and they say, oh, today the referee cheated us. You see the penalty he called for, cheating penalty. He take money from the people. We've gone, those years have passed. We are in an era where we cannot be discussing football like that. We should learn to choose our war very carefully. There's nowhere in football, coaches, managers are using the word cheat. You as a football licensed coach, how do you use the word cheat? You can't say cheat. The last time we had series of lectures with the LFA with coaches, and we said the whole football game is an acting industry. You all are in a movie and acting. Play your part. I can understand that it hurts when your team doesn't win and the referee becomes the man of the match, but what do? You always have to keep your cool. Stay out of trouble. Yesterday, the scene was so awkward at Tusa Field. Punches were thrown. Players got involved. The referees were attacked. Officials of the teams clashing with each other, clashing with the referee. That's almost the 1745 football we're playing. We're talking about 2024. You can't play football like that. Shame on everyone that was involved in the melee, the mayhem, at the two-side field on yesterday in that semi-final second leg between second ambassadors and Shakhtar Angels. I don't want to talk much about it. Even when I bring Benetta on, I don't want to talk much about it. But we all agree there was a controversial movement. And let me explain to you, controversy doesn't mean that the decision is not correct. It simply means that one party is satisfied and the other party is not satisfied. Then it becomes a controversial decision. So I'm going to say Shakhtar reached the finals of the Orange Cup after a controversial penalty. Bear in mind, it doesn't mean that the penalty wasn't fair. So children will have to change and go elsewhere.
Yeah, sure. So that's about it. I guess I was already on. So I think we, about this time, should be introducing them. Of course, who, of course, is the head of the female desk officer there at the Liberia Football Association. Rochelle Woodson, a long-time football administrator. In fact, I can remember back in my days when I was still actively coaching. Actively coaching in the third division.
The FC?
No, I was involved with a team called Bartonsville FC.
Oh, okay.
A very strong team in Bartonsville at the time that participated in the league, third division. Rochelle was the president of that team at one point.
Well, she was rolling the box.
Yeah, she was, certainly. So I'm the only person I think who graduated at that time from coaching the third division straight to the first division. Yeah.
Wow. We'll check that record.
We'll check it. So Rochelle has been around for a while. In fact, she had this nickname, Iron Lady of Liberian football. She's going to join us tonight on the show as well. And of course, Benita Ure, let me call her full name, Benita Whitney Ure, who has also been playing a role in women football in Liberia. Her team, Shakhtar, of course, is one of the best female teams right now, as evidenced by them being in back-to-back Orange Cup finals.
Fair enough.
So they are indeed etching their name into history in Liberian football, female football. So she's also going to be on. And she's also involved with male football as well. Yeah. So she's going to be also one of our guests.
So there you have it. Any of our guests, the production team can start putting them through. I would specifically like to see Alita Masakwe comes on first. But there you have Benetta Ure. Let me say thank you so much. Very nice background.
Yeah. She's into this kind of thing, entertainment, so she knows exactly. Yeah,
we've been struggling with our guests, the
background.
The background, the lecting system, the internet. Probably this is the best we've had. It's not April Fool, but let's say Benetta, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, she just unmuted. And Rochelle Woodson is also on. I don't know where she's driving, but I know it's day in the US and she's got us on from a car. Let's say, Ms. Woodson, pleasant welcome to Sports Talk.
Very much, Benjamin and Molly. Thank you for the invite.
And then we have Alita Masakwe. She's also following. Alita, tell us your location. Where just are you following from?
Okay, Benjamin, thank you. From Lakasi right now home, personally.
Okay. So 3 strong women in football.
Yeah.
Molly, do you want to get the ball on the road?
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling. I want to start with Alita. I would have loved to start with Rochelle, based on experience.
Alita just lay some bases.
Yes, I will hold Rochelle so that Alita can just lay some bases as to where we are right now as it relates to female football, women's football in Liberia. You, of course, are the head of the female desk at the LFA. So tell us, where is female football? How is it like right now in Liberia?
All right, children, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing me on. So for now, we see Liberia football, women's football, to be like on the go because from where we started, if we look back for the previous year, where we started to where we are right now, we can tell you we have made significant progress. I think ladies in the studio, yeah, joining us can attest to it because when we started women's football, 2018, we started with 18. So for us to be having 12 teams in the upper, the fact that we got various leagues now, because at first we had only one league, which was the upper women league. But now we can say to you, we got the upper women league, we got the lower women league, we got the community league. So for me, I'm not going to say that we at the top, but I'm telling you that we on the go. We are going somewhere.
So the organization, tell us a little bit about the organization of these leagues you're telling about, the upper women's league, the lower league, and then the community league. Tell us about the organizations.
So okay, the organization of the upper women league is like women football first league. I would say comparing to the first league of the male. This is our first league. We call it upper women league. We call the next step as the pathway is the lower women league, which they come next on, and then we have the community league. They feel the lower women league.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to somebody who also represented women's football at one point. In fact, she served with, was it CAF or FIFA? She will tell us. Of course, she served at that level, and she also was a match commissioner, a FIFA match commissioner, if you may.
Children, you are cheating me. It's my turn to pose the question.
I turn the ball over to you.
Okay, I'm sorry, just for the fun. So, Rochelle, let's say welcome. For the benefit of our viewers, we'd love you to profile yourself because children may not be knowledgeable about your profile.
I know about her.
Oh wow. I come in with great experience and long service in football. I serve as president for World Girls, co-chairman for the board FC Facel, one-time president for Fulani in second division, 8 years executive committee member, 5 years member on Women's Football Federation of International Football, 4 years as match commissioner of CAF, Confederation of African Football. Currently, I will be graduating from the Northeastern University, my second master's in sports leadership on May.
Congratulations.
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 So, I have vast experience, both practical and academics now. So I'm grateful I'm here.
Okay. So when we look back, when we have football, especially women football, and when you serve as executive committee, and we look ahead for the next 8 years or so ahead after you left, where do you think women football is right now?
I listened to a leader, and I think we are trying to progress, but as she rightly said, we are not there yet. There are a couple of things that needs to be done, and it's not on the burden of the Liberia Football Association alone. It also has to do with the participation of the clubs, both women's and male football, that could help in the development process of the women's football. So now we are not there, but at least there are gradual improvement towards the game. And as she said, when they inherited, when they took over, we had 8 female teams. When we took over in 2010, female football, we were like maybe 12 teams, more or less. I can't remember if my memory serves me right. So we had to try our best to reduce the number of teams and try to make some improvement into the growth of football, women's football. So that was where we were, and we tried in as much to have a lot of competition, but I think we have missteps along the way. But we did some games into women football as well.
Okay, what do you think? Because we will discuss again. Anita is still here. That's her point. She's going to raise her points. But you talk about missteps. What are some of the
Uh,
missteps you think we had?
um, I think organization was key, and considering now the organization is uh, uh, um, right now with this leadership, they're trying to be more organized in terms of structure, in terms of programs than where we were in 2010 to 18. So that's why I'm trying to say that we had some mistakes because the structure wasn't there. And even though we had strong policies on the development of football, women's football, but it was not being implemented. So in this administration, they are trying their best to implement it. I just think that for now they have an ambitious agenda, which is not helping the growth of women football. If they can try to have a subset of that, and then would be able to achieve. But they are
Oh,
doing they are doing well
sorry,
in
last
terms of
one.
women football.
But if you match that with what you had to work with, I mean, 8 years back, executive committee member, to what this leadership have got to work with, you will say that they've got sufficient of funding. Are you impressed with the work done with respect to the funding being provided by their mother bodies, the FIFA and CAF?
I'm not so much impressed because the conditions and the programs vary from in time and financial constraint, and resources are different from 8 years or 10 years ago to what it is now. As you rightly said, that we were receiving 250,000 as FFP for FIFA. Currently, I think we're in the middle now. So I think we need to redesign our program to see significant growth than what it was before.
Okay, we'll come back to how you think we should, reorganize so that we can get more from you. But let's bring in Benita. Um, Benita, once again, good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, you've come into women's football, and of course, there have been lots of transformations from your end. Your team, before you came on, Ben and I were talking, is very competitive. Of course, you're now into your second Orange Cup final, back to back, that is. And you are also one of the top teams in the women's upper league since you gained promotions. So tell us, first of all, what prompted Benita Ure to, of course, get into the arena of football?
I would say, firstly, I actually started working with CC United before I came on to Shatter Angels. I was working with them with my charity. We served as their official charity partner. I would say about 6 or 7 months before I started working with Shatter Angels. But I was associating with Shatter FC, which is the male team for Bird, and I was associating with them. And the coach of Shatter Angels reached out to me through the male team and told me everybody within the administration and the board and everything um, involving Shatter, apart from the technical team, where it was being run by people who were not from Carysburg. So he asked that I come on board, and also there were no females within the administration or the board at the time. So he not only wanted me to be a reflection of Carysburg, but also he wanted me to be a reflection of females within the administration. So when he brought me on board. That's basically how I started working in football officially.
So, how is it now? How has it been since you fully got involved? Of course, taking your team, bringing about Shatter Angels, and then taking them to the level they are. How has it been? Tell us a little bit about how challenging it has been.
Well, it has been challenging, but also fulfilling and a great learning experience because when I first was appointed as vice president of Shatter Angels, that was when we were really struggling in the upper league. That was our first season in the upper league. I had traveled when I was firstly appointed, so I came back during the second phase, and trust me, that was the worst time to fully be a part of Shatter because we were literally like on our way to the bottom. We were losing back to back. I think we won games that entire season. So it was really a dreadful season. But I think that it was very necessary because it gave us an idea of what we never want to experience again. And it gave us a chance to start over. When we went to the lower league, we were able to regroup, and then also we missed the chance to become lower league champions previously. So it gave us the opportunity to fight for that championship and come back up with more confidence. So it was challenging in the beginning, but like I said, it has been very fulfilling. And I learned a lot with my team getting relegated. And I always say everything happens for a reason because I truly believe that Shatta will not be sitting at second on the upper league table and will not be playing our second Orange Cup final if we were not relegated, because I do believe that we were very complacent with the idea of being in the upper league, and we were not thinking about building a team that could possibly represent Liberia in the CAF championship. So it was a learning experience and a very good one, and we are working more. We haven't gotten to where we want to be. I doubt we will be there in the next 3-4 years, but we are definitely working towards getting to where we want to be.
That's a long range plan for
That's long range
Shakhtar.
plan.
Let's talk the football horse with Alita Massaquet. Alita, what's the status of our national teams? I mean, we know you just appointed an Ethiopian, Salam Kadebi. I hope I got the pronunciation correct. And you also get various structures of teams, U20, U17, the experience Famata, the CAF lessons instructor, I think is with the U20. And then you have the U17 coached by Sekou Manuba. What's the status of those teams?
So for the teams, we have been with the LFA support, we have been able to organize the senior team, the U20, the U17, and they have been practicing. They just had an international women's day tournament in Sierra Leone, which it was not all that, but at least they got the experience, because this is one thing that we fight for the girls to have the international experience, exposure, that will feel that they can contribute back to the clubs and to our national team when we have to play in various tournaments or league. So for now, we can say our teams, we got the U20 and the U17 to play in May. The U20 will be playing in the Zuna tournament, while the U17 will face Senegal in the World Cup qualifier.
That's a big
Wow.
fixture.
Under 17 against Senegal.
I have a question
Yeah.
for Rochelle on this one. Do I get you, Rochelle? Many times back home, yeah, we criticize the national team of making a short trip to Sierra Leone or inviting Sierra Leone to play in these. The women games you're talking about was played I think in Kidima, and they have to play Sierra Leone at various levels, U20 and U17 and so forth. Is that your lucky?
Exposure and experience matters.
The audio is coming and going. I think you have to re-say your answer, Miss Woodson. You have to come back.
And
Not getting
adjustment.
you.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, please,
Go ahead.
please start over.
You getting me right now?
I'm getting you right
Go
now.
ahead.
Okay. I'm saying yes. It's good. For participation. It helps the player build up their confidence. It's good for experience as well and exposure. It also helps the coaches to identify their lapses on the team to reevaluate their system and structure in which the style of the formation they playing. So participating in these tournaments are good, but my point here is preparation towards the tournament. It's not just for participation. What is our what are our preparation towards the tournament? Are we just going to be participants, or we going to be competitive into those tournaments? That where I stand at default with what they are doing.
So, how do we prepare ourselves? Because I think, like she said, some of the reasons why perhaps they have these short trips to Sierra Leone is to prepare for the competition. So, how do you think they should rather prepare for these kinds of competitions?
Yes, but they have to do more like preparation at home before they go out for tournaments. You can just call group of players for maybe a week or two, and then you take them to Kenema to go and play. It's not well. They are not well prepared to go and to take part into this tournament. If you say it's just for the experience, well, it's good. But if you want to see the competitiveness of your team, then you have to take a little bit more time to prepare the team, to identify your players, to put in your formation, your system. The girls need to know, because they are not that station with one team. Every player coming from different teams with different style and different formation of the teams. So they have to come to know what team the coaches, what system the coaches will be playing. They got to learn it, and they have to coordinate with with the other teammates that coming from another team. So it's gonna take time. And then it's not only physical, it's also psychological, because what I've seen and what I've learned, and most of the coaches, and in my study now, and I try to reflect back home, majority of the coaches does not care for the well-being and welfare of the players. They only want to get the maximum out of the players. Sometimes players come to practices, they're hungry, they don't eat, they got family issue. Most players should have that empathy with the player, have that one-on-one talk. And myself used to watch it, but then I didn't know it had effect on the players, because when players come late to practice, you just see the coach run around the field for 20 minutes and 20 times. The coach, that player come with so much, 20 times, 15 times, get push up. You don't even ask her what happened, why she late. No empathy, no sign of consciousness. Psychologically, she's down. And she just needs people, somebody to talk to. But the coaches have seen, because I've been there. So I've seen that they don't have that empathy to have that one-on-one, discussion with the player. Besides football, there are other personal relationships the coaches and the technician need to build with the players that will also help to break down some of these problems the players are facing, that they cannot even produce. But we're only looking at, they're not kicking the ball right, they're not passing the ball right. Somebody even want to come and they don't want to play, but we force them to play. You didn't ask them why you don't want to play. Sometimes they will get excuses, but there are more to that. And when the player gave excuses, why can't you go into in depth of why the player don't want to play, and why will you keep a player on the field when they are not producing? And before the player could get on the field, that player has said to you that I'm not in the position to play today's game. But now, as the administrator, if you don't play, you will not get paid. You will be suspended. So I have learned so much. I have learned so much during my studies, and I think if we can change the mindset of the coaches, it's not only the players, the coaches. We need to work on the coaches, and the coaches for males football is the way they coach the male. That's not how you should coach women. So there are two different styles of coaching. Coaching a
Gender
male,
equality.
no, but they get in the wrong because the same way you coach the male team, it is quite different from the way you coach the women team. Even in the US, it's not the
I'm
same.
just joking. I'm just
Just
joking.
put it.
Not the
Okay,
same.
let me come to Benita on this particular aspect. Do you thoughts? Do you think the way we're going about it, the national team, club teams, you are close to your team, you see how the preparations are done before they come for the games. Is it that way on the national level? Is it that way? Do you see us, or do you see coaches not caring enough for the players, how they feel, that kind of way, and just opting for them to just go and play?
Um, I will not speak on every coach, but I will specifically speak in regards to the just ended tournament because I not only attended the games, but four of my players also played in the tournament. And for me, every time my players are away from us, I'm in constant communication with them. And I never got the feeling from them that the coaches were not talking to them right. But I do with what Rochelle stated that psychologically, a lot of these players need talking to constantly, not even once in a while, but constantly they need to be talked to because we don't know what's happening at their homes. We don't know what's happening within their relationships, and we don't know what's happening on their school grounds. So and I'm a strong believer in this because I believe that if the mental is not there, they will not go on the field and produce any good results. And equally so, as Rochelle stated, the preparation is very important. I think we had for the under 20 team, I think they had like a week of practicing. But I don't feel like that's what led to our defeat because I was on the field and the tension was very high. And this all goes back to psychological training within the players because I do feel like the players were not, no offense to them because they are all talented, but they were not mentally strong enough for the tension that the Sierra Leonean fans came with because there were bottles thrown, there were arguments, and it was very tense on the field. So I think psychologically they were not 100% there because of all the tension. Sierra Leonean players taking one of our key attackers' boots and throwing it out of the fence. There was a lot going on that was distracting them from what they went there to do. So it was a great learning experience for them. I think the coaches did the best that they could with the situation at hand. But I do feel like preparation is one of the key things that we need to focus on when it comes to our national teams, most especially when we have a national team that is mainly, well, it was 100% local based players that we took. So I do feel like more time could have been put in and it could have led to the success of, if not both of the teams that went, at least one. But like I said, I never got any complaints from my players in regards to how the coach treated them, how they spoke to them, if it played on their mental. But I do think that coaches need to take more time to discuss with the players and see and respect the opinions of the players to see how best the players can work together to give the results that will be beneficial to both the coaches and the players.
You're following Sports Talk on Intel Sports. My name is Ben Trojan Kezolo is here. Lots of people following. Mohamed M. Kuyata say he's watching from Dupero. Welcome, Brazil. Benetta Whitfield, Ure, thanks so much for the love you've shown towards the game. Faded Fodes is the CEO. Benetta, you dribbled also. Okay, but Markov Yononsi is also watching from Breville. Markov, let's say pleasant welcome. Eddie Santiago Solari Sapro is watching. Please let women football be played in high school and in communities. That is also done. LC DJ Sporting Women Football started far below 2018. I do agree with you. You also have sports journalist Fatoumata Barry watching as well. I hope you break on your fast. Don't take up all the time looking at the television and don't break the fast. Fatoumata. Mohamed Kamara also originator of female football club in Liberia. Benetta Wayfield, you really beautiful angel from the city of Carisbrand. welcome. Your thoughts are also welcome. Leave your comments there.
And-
We're going to reflect to them.
And Roland Moba is also watching, SWAT President Emeritus.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also following this broadcast. But let's come back. I want to start with Alita. You are hearing some of what the comments are saying. For example, the female football should not be just to clubs. People talking about perhaps extending it to high schools and other places like that. Are there any plans, perhaps, from the FA, working with maybe ISA or other institutions to see how best female football can go at that level, talking about in high schools?
Okay, Trojan, thank you again. Just a quick one to what Ms. Wilson said. The preparation of the national teams before, I can say it wasn't as it is now. Before the tournament, we were just about to kick off our training because it had been put into the programs that every week the national team should train 3 times. And that program was about to kick off when we got the invitation 3 times a week. And close to the tournament, we will have 5 weeks before the day of the tournament for preparation. So we also saw that tournament as a need for our preparation since we have just kicked off. The national team U17 and U20 is supposed to kick off this week for the upcoming tournament. So just a piece of information that the technical department and the consultants have made clear.
You have a program or a plan that says that the teams, the under 20, the under 17, they've got to train 3 times a week.
Yes, just at least 3 times when we come into the tournament, and 5 weeks before the tournament. So that have been made clear by the technical director. So that I just wanted to make clear. For
Anita, hold on 1 second. Let me hold you right there. We talking holistically. That has been the pattern of Liberia football when it comes to national team. So don't compare this discussion to the time before. We're talking about how can we move women football forward, and those are issues that I'm raising. So so don't compare my statement to when it was before. No, that's not why I hear on this program.
I'm saying to you, there have been progress, meaning that what you're seeing now is something we have already saw and have already decided to put in our program. I'm not trying to compare you to the past or the present. I'm just telling you that we have been far-sighted in saying that. That's all I'm just trying to say.
Brilliant guests on the platform, and I'm enjoying all of them.
She has not gone to the question yet.
We have had the Pan-African school football.
Yeah.
We had it before that had more than 15 women football school participating. And also now with our grassroots program, we want to launch even the U15, the U12 as in schools. So we are keenly looking at women football in school. That is a key priority for us. But it's a process. It's not just under the LFA. It has to do with the government, with the school system, because that's why we come in with sponsorship, because the schools are looking for the LFA to sponsor everything from grassroots up. So this is one of our key issues, because we have asked them, I thought you have this sporting program that you could help facilitate for them. They are telling us if it comes to material, it comes to transportation, they would need the FA holding and sorting. So this is something that we don't want to jump in today and we're not able to complete. So this is a process and we are working on it. And I can tell you soon and very soon, we will be in school.
Wow, that's wonderful. Let's go to Benetta. We talk about preparation of our various teams. Ms. Wilson gave a real experience example where have the right preparation going to matches like this. I just want you to count your success with Shakhtar. How do you prepare Shakhtar? Obviously it has to do with finance. Cool them on the finance. So what do you think you can do as Shakhtar, or you've been doing as Shakhtar, that should be adapted into our league or with our female clubs?
I think for me, my top priority in my team is player satisfaction. And I think that's what a lot of teams are lacking. That's why we don't see a lot of competition within female teams. And a lot of times, I'm not going to talk bad about any of my club administrators, my fellow club administrators, because I myself, I know how hard it is to run a team. But equally so, if we say we're engaging in this, it's something that we made a decision to do on our own. We should be prepared to take care of whatever that needs to be taken care of. And these girls go, I know for a fact I'm not able to right now to run 90 minutes on a football field under the hot sun. And a lot of these girls will go and run 90 minutes for four days in a month. And at the end of the month, they cannot even take their salary or even half of their salary. Most teams are in the women's league are going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months without playing their players. And this breaks players down. They are not satisfied. They feel like their talent is being wasted because they are not benefiting from their talent. And when they go on the field now, they have so many worries on their head. They are not performing. And then a lot of people will come in the stands and make the comment that, oh, these girls can't pass ball. They can't even make 5 passes and all of that. But we should understand that player satisfaction is extremely important. Sometimes players don't even have transportation to leave the field. And I think that we as club officials, we need to be more responsible because it's something that we made the decision to do. So we need to stick to our responsibilities. And also the pressure rising of players when club administrators are not sticking to their responsibilities. I think it's unfair. But like I said, my key priority in my team is player satisfaction. And from player satisfaction is I fully respect everything that my technical staff has to say. Every decision that I make, I don't make it without my coach, without my medics. I always make sure that it's a collaborative decision that we always make. Because making a decision without my coach, I have seen it work against me. My first season with Shatta, bringing players that I thought would help the team, but ended up being not as helpful as we would have expected. So I think it's very important for us to satisfy the entire staff on your team, but also to respect the input of the technical staff because they are with your players more than you would be on a regular basis. They have a different connection with the players and with the other staff. So those are my key priorities when it comes to my team, and I think it has led to many success within my team because for example, I wouldn't know like my coach wants to play a game from our opponent or my coach wants to go and watch a game from my opponent. Sometimes I just call my head coach and say, what do we need to do for us to win next week's game? And he will say, Prezo, I want to go and watch our opponent's game. And then we provide the finances to make sure that it's possible. So teamwork is very important, and satisfying your players, keeping up with your responsibilities is key to the success of your team.
I have a question for Miss Woodson, but I'm going to bring in Alita first. FIFA wants for women to take over their game, and I think I would like to hear the thoughts of Rochelle on this one. What is the Liberia Football Association doing so that we can have female in every aspects of women game? Now the LFA have got referees, in the female category running the lines centrally, but want to see female coaches, female medic, female assistant coaches, and just name them.
So okay, thank you, Benjamin. So far with the FIFA lower league development, we have been able to run workshop exclusively for women only programs. We have had that where you see the like of Kebe Lamine came in. It was under the lower league development that we have 14 women coaches that was sponsored by FIFA Women Development Program. We also had another program that was exclusively for new referees, where we had 22 new referees from the age of 12 to 18. So these are the programs now we run. We have administrator workshops. We have it only for female. We do it only for women club too. So those are programs we are putting in that encourages more women to come in football from lower age to upper age, because just as we're giving a pathway for women football, that we can have upper league, lower league, community league, we feel we should also have a pathway for referee, a pathway for coaching. So the younger the coaches, the better it is for us, that when the older ones are wearing off, we have the younger ones always already there to take in the responsibility. So that's where we are. And we hope to have more administrators. We have invited women from different aspects of life. I see before, when we talk about women football, maybe we'll only be talking about Madam Wusi and myself in women football. But now we can say we have Benito, we have even our present boss lady, Madam Easy Julie Seaton, at the executive. We have Mami Poto before at executive. We have Hippo president Snami. We have even the women football department that consists of 4 women. We before there were only 2 persons, I and my former boss, Francis Tama. So as you can see, everything we do right now is women football. Even the LFA have increased women's staff. You can
Okay,
go to
let's take hold from you there and come to Miss Wilson. How embarrassing it can it be, especially in the dressing room, when the kids come running the pitch, they come do some chinches at halftime or so, or getting prepared for the games, and they see lots of males, and obviously that produce jittery movement. That's in my mind. I haven't been in a female dressing room, but from your experience.
When I was president for World Girls, these were some of the issues that I constantly found out and complained, because right after games like that, there were like 5 minutes too long for the girls to be in the dressing room, and they need to come out for the boys to go in. I think it's indecent, and I think it's not right. The LFA needs to try to adjust the timing or the fixture, in that after the game, at least give the women as much time as 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get sorted up before you can do your match or officiating in the locker room. But there are a lot of problem in terms of girls going into the room to go get changed, and then you see men running in there. That's not nice. That's very indecent. It's not fair. So they got to work on the time. I think it all costs for the time, because the fixture is back to back. Like when you know that this team is playing 2 o'clock and you have 4 o'clock there, so there's no time for the women to get changed, to get out of the locker to go do their inspection. So I think they need to work on that, so that way we can be able to give the ladies ample amount of time to change after they finish with the game.
Benita, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that as of late, we haven't really been having that much of an issue with this, like conflicting time, rushing out of the locker room. But I do agree, and I think that there should be more of a grace period for female players to be able to. I think that um, it happens with the male teams as well. If a male team is playing before another male team, they're rushing them out of the changing room. So I don't think it's just a female thing, to be honest, because there are games that will play 2 and then another game will play 4. So I don't think it's like a female thing, but I do think that every team should be given more time to have to change and leave the venue.
But the main question was women taking over football. We don't have lots of women coaches. We don't have lots of women medics and women assistant coaches. If you check the female team, before Patient Gua was appointed, you had Robertson Warner for many, many years as determined girls coach. Soccer ambassador, their coach, I think Peter William or something like that, is a male. So almost all, like you, even your team, Shakhtar Angels, the coach is a male. So my concern is, when will the women take over their game?
Well, I think that even with the men in football, I think that a lot of time we're not teaching that there is life after football. We have a lot of retired female footballers around who are not making sure that there's life after football, like engaging in different sporting activities. That's why I always try to uplift, promote, and encourage Kebe Lami because she recently retired from the league. I think 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, and she is already actively getting her coaching licenses and working with the national team. So I think she's a great inspiration for what we want to see from retired female footballers and other women in football. But in regards to more women engaging in football and quote unquote taking over women's football, I think it's a gradual process because we just started women's football in Liberia, first things first. And I think that Liberian people are still fighting with the mindset of football that man team, football that man team. So for us, we are still fighting to find our space. Like most times when we try to voice ourselves out, they don't respect what we have to say. So it's a gradual process. As women's football is growing, then you will see more women engaging. But right
And I'm
now,
sorry,
Yeah.
but I'm just sorry. I hope I'm not cheating you. But this is for Rochelle. I mean, two masters in sports, and their experience are well needed back home. Do you have a dream to come back at the upper echelon of football in Liberia to bring back what you've learned away from home so that our game can improve?
Listen, I'm into football not just for the fun of it. I have passion. I spent over 20
So
years
it's camera.
of my young life into.
The camera.
I spent over 20 years of my life into football, so definitely I do have passion. And we're talking about bringing women into football, and if we are sincere with that, I think this administration who have let everything pass and try to reach out to some of us with experience, to help with football. But unfortunately, since I left football 8 years or 10 years on the leadership of football, I have never been contacted by this administration, even as a consultant, because I would have loved to give some consultancy in terms of women football development. But then obviously it haven't, and that's so sad because we are not many into the game. And when you have someone who have reached the zenith of football, I think regardless of uh, personal differences, regardless of ego, you can ask them to lend their experience to help football in Liberia, because it's not personal, it's for the whole country. So going to football development, as and Benetta stated, Kebe Lamy, former players should be into the league. Those that have played football and have benefited through the means of playing, and now they're into administrative position, and someone like Ben Famata, they should be in the league for us to be able to encourage other people or other young women or young girls to get into football and see football in a different form. It's not about men's game, and also we have to try to use camps. I heard Elita talking about finance into school games, but school game could be one of the means to really get a lot of women into football. We have to start from elementary school. We have to take the game to take the game into school. If we cannot, then we can get a lot of women into football, because it's not only for development purposes, but it's also for talent pool, to put the women into pool to get player out of there. So that's one of the great ways to develop football, to put the girls into school. Yeah, to run women football in schools. Then another way the LFA could go with camps and clinics, and you take community clinics. It's not league. You can do tournament for 1 week. You have a community and just say, okay, age 12 to 10 or age 15 to 12, and you run that program maybe in that community. You get maybe 5 or 10 teams, and that momentum will build, and you help to encourage other girls or children to get into women football. And then we have to have a lead advocate, someone who have played. I have not played football, but I reached the zenith of football. I could help, but yeah, I could help. But those people that have played, Famata and Kebe, now should be the lead brand in trying to reach out and to young women to say that you can play football, you can also benefit from football. Today I was playing, and now I'm an administrator, and now I'm a coach, and and now we travel because our competing sports there, kickball, you don't have an opportunity in kickball than in football. So those are the things we need to go and reach out, and awareness is very key. Publicity is very key. Those are the things we need to go out there to educate our young girls, school girls. And look, there are opportunities in women football. If you play football, you can travel, you can make a good career out of football. Now Miata Morris is gone. Now you see what's her name, Poladino or whatever.
Polendo, Otsu,
Yeah. So they're making money out of what they're
Qatar.
playing. Is not, yeah, Qatar. Yeah. So now it's not only for physical. It's a career that you can make serious money out of, more than kickball. I'm not despising kickball because kickball is our traditional sports, but also we have to make them to understand that when you play women's soccer, you have better opportunity than playing kickball. So we got
Okay.
to take the lead, and regardless of what happened, what I have ambitions to be president of the FA, but I can contribute a lot. So there should be some level of coordination and some level of interaction, with me and and other people who have left football, like Mami Poto. I can say that I talk to her most of the time, and she just left the executive meeting in less than 2 years, and nobody have reached out to her. And she's a passionate football administrator. She loves football. You and I know that she really loves football. She could help. And you
Okay.
understand? So
Sure.
we got to do better.
Okay. Reaching out. Now, Benito said something about life after football. These girls that are playing, of course, with the issue of marginalization against women, how they're treated in societies, and all of that. So, one thing that is a key factor has to do with education as well as playing football. How keen are clubs on the aspect of the players being educated while playing the game? Benita, how keen are you on that aspect of your players? For example, the Football Association. How do you get it from clubs relative to the players being in school or not? How keen are you, football developers? Here is Rochelle Wilson into football, Benita into football, Alita into football. All of them have a very good educational background. After football, there can be life. How keen are you people on ensuring that our women, our girls, while playing football, also take their education seriously?
Um, for me, what I will say, and I will say hats off to the LFA, because I know that if you're playing under the under 17 team and you're not in high school, you're not allowed to play for the team. Because I remember one of my players were dropped for that reason. And after that incident happened, I made it a priority that every player must go to high school and graduate from high school. So with that being said, we made it also a priority for us. So within their contracts, we're obligated to help them towards their tuition. So we do believe that our players going to school and getting an education is important. But I think a lot of times in Liberia, which doesn't happen in a lot of other countries, is we feel that players must go to school. Some players have the talent to achieve more than they will ever achieve if they went to school. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking down on going to school, but sometimes we need to understand that some talents are greater than what our mindset of what everybody's future should be. Because there are a lot of there are a lot of popular and very talented and rich and well off and successful footballers who have never even stepped foot in university. So I do always encourage my players to go to school. And one thing that is a priority to me, and they must graduate from high school. But after high school, I leave that decision up to they and their families, and I'm always around to contribute whichever way, because I will never keep my players away from school. But one thing for sure is I do believe that a lot of my players have the talent in them to make them to go as far as possible, even if they don't end up going to university. And one thing we should keep in mind that a lot of these female players that we are helping and we are working with, they come from very, very poor backgrounds. So maybe they may not even have the things to even say that would after high school we're going to university. So they rely heavily on the success of their career. So it's also important for us to push them for them to go as far as possible.
Okay, Alita, from the FA standpoint, how do you look at this?
So we have always encouraged every girl to go to school whenever we have workshops. But this is one of our greatest weakness in football is female player being educated. So we have faced that challenges as well at the LFA. So when we see a female not just being in football, but because you are a fan, but you follow football, yes, we encourage you to come on board. We encourage every female former player to come on board, and it surprised me because our business easy former easy Wilson, we have said times to our number that this football is an inclusion thing for women football to move forward is everybody. So your expertise to give to women football is highly welcome. I don't think you have to be a contractor or let me just leave it like that, a contractor for the LFA for you to be able to contribute to women football. We have had other women that other football. I can tell you that we got Miss Agna Thompson, which is now part of the women football committee. She was never in football. She know nothing about football. It was based on our connection, reaching out to women that she came to women football. We also have Miss Olive, and we also have Miss Ade. So these are women
But
that have never
Alita,
been in football that we
yeah,
have
but
encouraged.
Alita,
So it
is there
surprises
anything
me.
wrong? Is there anything wrong with perhaps reaching out to her and just saying, okay, we need your expertise
But the
on
doors
this.
for
Can
women
you come
football
in?
have been open for Madam Wilson. The doors of women football have been open to her when she was
Could
there,
you please
even when she
reopen?
left women football. It have been open. There's no door have been closed behind her. So this is a shock to me. But if she thinks it should be a personal call, I can make the call. It's never too late because we still need
There you
every
go,
woman
then.
on board. So that's just it. Yeah,
Yes.
the door is not closed. I don't know if she go up now, but I want to say
We gotta
something minor.
go.
The
I
door
think
is
she
not
slipped
closed
up.
to
We
you.
got less time to go. Very, very short period. Let's start with you, Miss Yuri. Your team is in the Orange Cup final. To be honest, it was a controversial game on yesterday.
Yes, very controversial indeed.
But you were left all smiles because you were in the final.
Yes, it was like a happy feeling, but then also a sad feeling to see many fans going home wounded and properties damaged. But we are in the final, so
What is the advice so
Yeah,
this
yeah. What do we
doesn't
say
happen?
to our fans, to our officials, relative to how they react to issues on the pitch?
you know, it it was an unfortunate situation, and I think that a lot of times we, the club administration, we underestimate the influence that we have. I mean, administrators, excuse me. We underestimate the influence that we have on our players, our fans, and our technical staff. And I think that words that come out of our mouths, we have to be very, very careful, because people may look up to you and believe in you, and when you put something in their mind, they're gonna stick to it. So unfortunately, we played this team 3 times back to back. We played them Saturday. I mean, we played them Sunday, then we played them Thursday, and then we played Sunday again. So it was very tense between both fan bases from the first game. That was a league game, and there were a lot of accusations being thrown out towards us, and these accusations continued and continued, and we felt the tension rising because of stuff that the technical staff was putting into the players and the fans' heads. So I do believe that we as technical staff and administrators need to be more responsible with things that we say that will incite violence and will promote anger within fan bases. So yesterday was very unfortunate. There were, I think, about 7 different fights I can count from the top of my head. There were insults thrown, and I think that we need to know that football is a sport that is supposed to unify us and not divide us. When we go on the field, we understand that a lot of the fans are emotional, but then now you have the staff being emotional, players being emotional, administrators being emotional. Then who is going to lead? Who is going to tell who to stop? So I think as club administrators, be we really need to guide our technical staff and our players and fans better to ensure that incidents like this don't repeat.
Okay.
Let's Wilson go because she's
All right.
on pedestrian.
Benita, just hold.
So I just want to ask her the last question before she goes, Miss Wilson. She's dropped off the car and she's on pedestrian. I know your former club is World Girls when you gave her the leadership a few months ago, but they are in the final against Shakhtar. Do you have your heart with them? Miss
Rochelle,
Wilson.
you're from Carisburg. You must answer. You're from Carisburg.
Miss Wilson, this is your question. I know you used to be hierarchy of World Girls. It's your former club having given up the leadership, but do you still have your heart with them? Do you follow them? They are in the Orange Cup final against Shakhtar.
And you're from Carisburg, according to Benita.
She's my cousin. She might not go against us.
Okay, what's your answer?
Just fill this out for me.
Rochelle, are you getting us? No, it seems like Rochelle is not getting us. Rochelle, are you getting us? No, she's not. So I think we just have to let her go.
Yeah.
And before we come to a leader to sort of close up, Vanessa, how is Miara Morris? How is she doing? Where she is?
She's doing amazing. I'm so proud of her. She's currently in Uzbekistan. She's playing the top flight in Uzbekistan. She has played 2 games so far, and she has scored 3 goals in the 2 games, 2 in her debut game, and one in her game that just happened on Saturday. We're very proud of her, and we continue to encourage her because her success there is going to be a pathway to a lot of Liberian players going out of the country and being successful. So we are very proud of her so far.
Okay.
You want to check
No,
on Rochelle?
Rochelle, you getting us now?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I was in the middle of something.
Yeah, so Ben's question to you was, you were part of World Girls. They're in the final now, the Orange Cup final with Benita's Shakhtar Angels. Where do you stand? Is your heart still with World Girls? But like Benita is saying, you are her cousin, you are from Carisburg, and you're playing against Shakhtar. So where do you stand?
First of all, let me just congratulate Benita. She's doing an awesome job, and I must commend her for that, for the level of passion she has shown, the level of enthusiasm, the level of competition she brought in the upper league in her ambitions. I'm very, very much proud of her, and I wish her all the best. She has always supported me, and I know we are relatives. So, and I'm from Carisburg. So, in as much my heart is with World Girls, but I take her for the day against World Girls. She's my family.
Campaigning for that
The best team will win. So I wish her all the best. And before, I just wanted to throw a little bit of light on what a leader said. The elevator is open, and it's like you have your house, and if you don't welcome me in your house, how do I enter? There should be a level of invitation. I'm not I'm not a small woman in football, that which you should know. So you can't just tell me, say, oh, you are welcome to come to the FA anytime our doors are open. And have you ever called me before? Have you ever asked me before? Or say, can you come to this function? I've been in the country every year. I go to Liberia 3 times a year. I reach to the LFA. Have you contacted me before? I even made issue with a couple of times that you guys had women's football. What's the thing? They celebrating Women's Day or something, and there were other speakers you guys invited, and I was never invited. And all I heard, oh, you were not in the country. We didn't know you were in the country. So I don't know how much can I offer, and how much can I do, or how much can I go there, or I don't know what else you want me to do. But if I'm not welcome, I can't do much more than I do. Um, Currently I'm the vice president for Nima Girls, and I will be in football 100% next season, and I will be with an upper women's football team. And Benita, I wish you all the best, and we will lock on next season. We're going to make the league really competitive.
I can't believe it.
That's great.
Former president for the club. Cherry the other side. Let's say thanks for your time, Rochelle. It was nice having you.
She's my cousin, and I'm from Carisburg, and Shatta from Carisburg. So even if I
I've
was the
seen brothers
president
play
of
against
Workers,
each
I
other.
wish her all the best, and we say the best thing
I
to
saw
this.
Jerry Boateng.
That's all I can
Kevin
say.
Prince
But
Boateng.
now that
Come on, brother, the inside.
I'm not the president of Workers, I'm no longer in Workers, so I have to cheer for my cousin. Though I love Workers, it was my turn. We reached the final, but I wasn't there. And hats off to the leadership. They did extremely well. And as she said,
But
one
Honor,
thing
you
that
you
stood
won
out
a
for
trophy
me
for
during
World Girls for the
her
first time in their
presentation
history.
in regards to when they came down to the lower league, and sometimes she always laugh with Workers. She say it's good that you guys going to win a trophy, and which is true. We've been in existence almost 20 years plus, and having won a trophy, so it's a perfect opportunity that they will be crowned champions of the women's lower league. And who knows, maybe they might get Orange Cup final. But even by them reaching to the Orange Cup final, we only stopped in semi-final when I was president. So they have made considerable achievements. So I must commend the leadership. They are doing well. But on the final on Sunday, I'm with Shatta. That's something I'm going to say about that. I'm giving Shatta my support.
Former World Girl President supports Shatta the founder. Thanks for your time, Miss Wilson.
Thanks a lot, Rochelle.
Don't
We
be
appreciate it.
controversial, Ben. Former World Guest President doesn't mean that Shatta is my home team. And you fit to real life family stand up. That's
support
my
your home
family
team.
there.
Okay.
Blood is thicker than water.
Okay.
Okay, Rochelle, thanks a lot for being a part. And of course, we hope to have you another time on another topic.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, so Alida, maybe some words before we can leave.
Yeah, so in this open manner, because my own big sister, every time she visit the LFA, we talk about women football, but then still she says she's not invited. And being a very big woman in football, I've reached the senior. In this open manner, Madam Musi, I want to say you are welcome to women football. We are inviting you now. Please bring your expert team, Mama. Let me follow you, Kolofa. So they want you welcome. We invite you. All the work in our women football needed. Please can't join all that push the agenda.
I like that.
And I want to say thanks to her for the show, for whatever she has said. Yes, some make a lot of sense, and as we can say, 2 heads is better than one. So we need what she know. We need what Benita know to know our league have this momentum now. Is the help of Benita, Determined Girl President, Mrs. Bidel, Hawa, just every other women in football. It's because you are here today that women football is even making this progress. And in this public manner, we want to say we are encouraging more women to join. We got more teams here. Like you can be an administrator, you can be a coach, your daughter can be a medic. This is my open cry up to the women in Liberia. Football is not only for men. This can profit every girl. To the former players, we have tried reaching out to y'all one-on-one. And in this public manner, I want to say
Yeah, please can you let join here to push the women football. This is now a one-person thing. So I
Okay.
want to say
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you to the host for hosting me. I want to say Titi Miguel will be crowned champion 2-time fee because they are leading the league table 51 points. So we're inviting the public to come see a wonderful match as always.
Wow.
So thank you so much for having me on.
You pay for the announcement.
You pay for the announcement. Okay. Benita?
Nothing much to say. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It was an honor to share this platform with two hardworking women in football. Thank you guys for shining a light on women's football because without the help of the media and the fans, women football will not improve. So I encourage you guys, please, the same way y'all discuss the male football, that you guys will always bring in more female administrators, more even male administrators that are engaged in women's football to promote women's football because we have a way to go, and with the media coverage we could get to where we want to go. So thank you guys once again.
Well, Ben?
Okay, what do we do? We just say thank you. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks to Miss Woodson, thanks to Miss Yuri, thanks to Miss Masakwe, even thanks to the boss himself, Mr. Kiazulu. We got to go. We
And
overstayed
thanks
the time.
to Fatimata Jari. She's on our backs. She said 8:30. It's 8:40. Fatimata, we know.
Okay, Fatima, I thought you broke the fast ever since, so you've been trying to tell me.
Thanks to all of the viewers. Of course, we'll be back on Wednesday with another thought-provoking discussion and topic on sports talk.
Yeah, my name is Ben Gagba, Bill in Yoguba. Don't forget, Chris Walker will be here tomorrow with Church and Kezulu. I'm going to return on your television on Friday with Chris Walker. Until then, always remember, into your sports talk.
Good night.